Okay, we're up.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where our purpose is to awaken you to your magnificence. And we do that through words. Today it's by Reverend Larry's words. And what?
You awakened me this morning.
I know, I did. I awoken you all night. I know. I'm glad you're here today. We're also here to remind you that life is divine. Have you ever had a day where you forgot?
Yesterday?
Okay. There's some days where we forget, and society hasn't quite enveloped us with life is divine. So that's what we're here for. And our mission is to inspire, awaken, and transform lives.
It's a good mission.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah. How are we doing that?
I'm going to talk today.
Okay. My name is Mary Jean.
Happy birthday.
And thank you. Thank you. Yes, I know. 49 and hanging, I love it.
49 and holding?
Holding.
Right.
Well,
and
it's
what
sort
happens
of, no.
when you let go?
My grandchildren always said, I'm 49 and hanging. They go, well, what would happen? How old would you be if you let go? Like, I'm not letting go, so life is good. There are a few announcements. Do you want to help with them?
Oh, gee, sure.
You could do the first one.
Lunch today.
Yay!
Well, that's good. Everybody gets lunch. Lunch hosted by David Flay and Tracy, his wife. Homemade by David.
Yeah.
And there's birthday cake for everyone who was ever born.
Yeah. Instead of I don't want to just celebrate me. I want to celebrate anybody who was born. And I want to say hi to Tim Sullivan, who's been out camping all over the world. And good to see you back.
Tim.
Yeah. You know, I want to thank all of you that came to our congregational meeting last week. We're going to be having more of those because we're changing some of the bylaws and things like that, and it just takes a little meeting. But at that meeting, and I was acknowledging everybody, I forgot to tell you again that we have on staff here at CSL one of the most incredible photographers and graphic designers in the whole world, and his name is Jacob. Jacob, will you stand up and give everybody a wave? This is Jake back there. Yeah. Just thank Jake, because he does you'll notice some of the graphics and things that he's been doing. And
you have a lot to live up to.
Yeah. And he happens to be engaged to my granddaughter, Kayla. Hey. So anyway, that's exciting. So this week, is Stacy Oliver here yet? No. She has an announcement. I'm going to leave that in case she walks in. If somebody sees her walk in, let me know. We have some charities to assist this holiday season. And we were adopting families, and they have not gotten back to us. And so we kind of shifted gears. And instead, we are doing something else.
Fairly readable.
Hopefully, you all get our weekly bulletin that we send out that tells you what's going on and who's singing and who's speaking and all that. Because this is what we sent out this last week. Holiday gift giving from CSL. We're going to do two opportunities to give to people in need. One of them is Gateway 180. And Gateway 180 is the largest emergency shelter in Missouri. Did you know that? For women, children, and families. Its mission is to empower adults and families to become independent and permanently housed. So what they need, though, and this is just through November, which is how many more Sundays? 2 more Sundays. Or anytime during the week you can drop off things. What they need is non-perishable food items, pots and pans, mops and brooms, towels, reusable water bottles, clothing, games, toys, and books. And these could all be gently used. So if it's time for you to go through some of your items, bring them in. These would mean the world to someone else. You know, you may be done with them. So I've been gathering up clothing for them. Just bring them soon because we only have 2 more Sundays and we're going to have someone take them out to that. Actually, Tracy is going to be handling that, Tracy Flo, and she's going to take them out to the people that are going to take them to Gateway 180.
Where is Gateway?
I actually don't know.
Somewhere in Missouri.
Somewhere, somebody who was watching the series called Maids, and out of that, they decided that they wanted to assist, and they found Gateway 180, and decided that they would spread the word and let's help that charity this year. So I happen to be in this loop, and so that's why we're doing it. And then the second one is Mitzi McDonald's doing her 16th annual Christmas Gala event. She's airing it on YouTube. It's not in person again. She had always done it in person, but they won't let them do the cookies on stage unless, I don't know. So anyway, they're doing it online. But they still take donations to Annie Malone's, and so they need baby toys, baby supplies, educational toys, basketball games, arts and crafts, gloves, hats, gloves, kids, babies, and teens. So we want to help them too. And that's a little bit longer after the end of November. So when you're out shopping, you know, bring something in. We'll be having the big boxes here for Annie Malone pretty soon. And we were one of the major contributors last year. People brought in so many games and toys and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I was really proud of this center. So know that when you're out shopping, you know, gift giving.
So we're decorating
Next Sunday.
week.
Next Sunday.
For what?
After celebration, please stay. We're going to bring up the Christmas decorations. We're going to get this room and the lobby all decked out for Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, stay and
Nice.
decorate next Sunday. And we normally don't feed people every Sunday anymore, but Reverend Larry is going to be providing a special soup for the decorating team. So if you're going to stay and decorate, you get food. That's the Italian in him.
where'd that come from?
I don't know. Italians always feed people,
It's
don't
French.
they? Is anybody Italian in this room? Don't you love feeding people? Yeah.
Yeah, so do the French.
Okay, well, that's right. He is French. He's not Italian. De Rocher. He's French. Okay. Anyway, he's going to feed you. So make sure you put it on your calendar, and we need people that are strong to bring up the Christmas things and people that are creative and patient to put them up.
All right, we got to get going here.
Okay, we're hosting Thanksgiving dinner this year, and Tony Bardell is going to be donating the turkeys, but what we need to know is your name, how many people you are bringing, and what side dish you would be bringing also. We really could use that by Friday of this week so that we can get the turkeys order
Where do they sign up?
out in the lobby on that blue
Lobby,
tablecloth.
on the
Okay.
tablecloth.
The following week, Taizé is Tuesday, but that's in your bulletin. Bulletins, well,
They're out there.
they're out there, or they're online. New members, okay, we're out of bulletins, but it's okay.
Okay, well, they're online. You never run out.
Yeah, go online and read them. But New Member Sunday is December 12th. If you would like to make this your spiritual home, we're going to celebrate you then. And there is a pumpkin on the table in the lobby, and
It's dying.
it died.
Oh,
We're going to have to bury it. So this is the last time that today you can write a gratitude word on our pumpkin, and then we're going to have to bury it this week.
we're not taking it home.
No, we're not.
No, we'll bury it out here.
We'll bury it out here. Okay, and the Mind, Body, Soul magazine by Stacey Oliver is out on the lobby. Is she here yet? She's not? She's here. Okay, come on up because she is going to tell you about this Thursday and Friday.
Oh, you got one?
Well, okay, you just want to tell them about Jackie Forster and the Aurosoma.
Yes, so I brought extra copies of the summer issue in case you wanted to read more about the Aurosoma oils. So Jackie Forster is coming in from Aspen this week just to be here at Center for Spiritual Living to do a workshop on Aurosoma oils that are From the United Kingdom. The oils, the plants that are used to produce the oils are grown on the ley lines. I'm just going to share the little I understand about it, but I've used these for healing and transformation for the last several years for myself. So they've been very powerful. And you can just, you can see the high vibration. And it's all about color and light. The spiritual aspect, there's a message in each bottle from the Kabbalah, an archangel. What else? Colors, light, so I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I've experienced it, and I'm more of an experiential learner. But Jackie Forster's coming in from Aspen. She'll be here for Thursday night and Friday night for just a 2-hour class, which is donation only. And Saturday is $150 for a full-day workshop. So if you're interested in, and you'll get some really personalized, hands-on experience and find out the color of your soul, the essence of the bottle that you might need to support you right now.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for the magazine and all that you're doing. Magazines are out in the lobby, and you don't even have to sign up, but the workshops on Thursday and Friday are 6 to 8 p.m. And I know we're coming because I'm interested in that. No, it's just one, this is the introduction. Either you come Thursday 6 to 8, or you come Friday 6 to 8, and then if you want to come for the whole day, that's Saturday. And I think that's
Saturday's the end at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm going to know a lot more.
And we had it on the flyer that she was going to be here next week, and she will not be at the building next week, so go either Thursday, Friday, or to her Saturday workshop.
Right, she has to fly back.
Okay. And now, our opening prayer. And I found two bulletins I'll put out there. Thank you, Tom.
Good morning. My name's Tom, and I think it was last year I was doing some office work and discovered this in the files, and I want to share it with you again. I did it, I think, last year in connection with Veterans Day, which we just had. I want to do, instead of my own prayer, Ernest Holmes' prayer for my country. So, and then I'm available for prayer afterwards. We can find a quiet nook somewhere if you want to have something, or if you do have something in your life that you want to change, come see me after the service. We'll do that. So let's pray. Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and in the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression for all, I offer this, my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of all who guide its affairs. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and are the divine heritage of everyone in this country. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all. The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country is now directed by this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. Each is compelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. That is our prayer And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, and I do want to honor all those that have served this country in our armed forces. Would you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Thank you. Thank you. And thank you around the world, all of you that have contributed to peace in this country.
So, in honor of your birthday, the congregation would like to give you a gift, which is right in front of you. It's a surprise. And this gift card.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you bring the poem to read?
No.
So grateful for you. Today, when people remind you how special you are and say that having you in their lives make a difference, believe them, because it's true. Oh, happy birthday, your CSL.
So we'll put the card back where the cake is and everybody can sign it? Yep. All right, and these are from Jake and Kayla for you. That's sweet. And now the thought for the day.
Am I doing the thought for the day?
You are.
And now the thought for the day. Ernest Holmes wrote this. Thank you, Larry, and thank you everybody in the congregation and all over the world. It's such a special, it's just special when you're alive and you have one more birthday, As you get older, it's more like I can get up and move and I can still dance, yeah. So together, let's just say this silently to ourselves. We note that through the ages, people have been healed by the prayer of faith, which is a practice of every religion. There is a law governing this possibility. Otherwise, it never could happen. So let's just know that right now we're activating that law of faith. And any healing that needs to be done, let's just declare it complete right now. And I also would like to introduce to you our music for today, two of these fabulous musicians, and I know that you all love them and cherish them as much as I do, Anna and Jared Couture.
Good morning. We are so happy to be here the day after your birthday, celebrate Mary Jean, and we have picked some special songs to us today. This is the song that we wrote for our son Jade, who's 2 now. I don't think we've played it for you guys. I want to dive in your jade sky where the rainbow butterfly flies. I want to drink from your wonder-filled eyes where the maker's dreams realize. You paint a world in me I have never seen, in between reality and dream. With you I finally see what truly matters to me, just you and I in the jade sky. Let's take a swim into the little fish's dream, where your giggles make bubbles into the stream. Then take a ride on the caterpillar geese and go up high in the magnolia trees. You paint a world in me I have never seen, in between just you and I in the jade sky. In your eyes, 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 in your eyes. You paint a world in me I have never seen, in between reality and dream. With you I finally see what truly matters to me, just you and I in the jade sky, in the jade sky, in the jade sky. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That was beautiful. Wasn't it? Yeah. Let's give him another hand. Yeah. So today we're talking about crossing the Red Sea. Get your oars out, because here we go. When I first looked at that, I thought, I don't even remember where the Red Sea is. Does anybody know? It's that way. Right, it's in the Middle East. It's in the Middle East. It's the Suez Canal from the north feeds into it. And then it's, I think, 1,200 miles or 1,500 miles in length. It's quite large, so crossing it could be a challenge. But, you know, I saw a National Geographic special maybe 6 or 8 months ago about the crossing. And they think that it actually took place in what's called the Reed Sea, R-E-E-D, Reed Sea, because the Reed Sea is actually a swamp area located in, I think, just south of the Suez Canal. And that particular area rises and falls with the tide. And so they think that that's where it was actually taking place. And that they snuck through when the tide went down and the tide came up when the Pharaoh's army came through. So, but it's really more in tradition with the Bible an allegory than it is anything else. And that is the Red Sea is really our biggest obstacle. And what do we do to part that, to change that? And how do we get across? I look at it from the standpoint of being at the opening of the sea, you see the wholeness of the Red Sea. Then it parts and you have to get across. And getting across is making it through. That's the part where it's tough. That's the ego world. That's where all your challenges begin to show up until you get to the other side, which is wholeness again. Our world has gotten so divided, and it's gotten so divided because there's a major shift and change happening everywhere. We now see actually more people waking up, becoming more aware of consciousness, of the higher powers that we have. Ernest Holmes was one of the first to point out back in early 1900s, the powers that human beings actually have. We've now in neuroscience and other of the sciences found the truth of that showing up in science. Now, science isn't the end all, because we have a society which seems to like science as being fact, period. Actually, science changes rapidly. Almost every day it's changing. So what was going on actually during the time of Einstein is completely different now, because the theory of relativity was really powerful back then. It still holds some power, but now we're into string theory and multiverses and all kinds of things. I just heard Madame Curie, who was the one who discovered radioactive material. They have all of her papers down in the museum, down in the basement, in a lead-lined room. And in order to go in and read them, you have to put on a hazmat suit, because she worked in radioactive areas for so long, everything was radioactive. Amazing, isn't it? And she survived and got, what, 2 Nobels, I think? Science isn't the end all, though, but it's coming together with spirituality. That's why Ernest Holmes originally titled this The Science and Philosophy of Spirituality. The Science of Spirituality. Let me read you a letter. This was from Einstein to his daughter. Einstein had 1 daughter and 3 boys. His daughter was born in 1902 and died in 1903. They think, nobody's sure, she may have been put up for adoption, but nobody has come forward and claimed that they are his daughter. But listen to this. He wrote this to his daughter, and he said, "I propose the theory of relativity very few understood. What I will reveal now to mankind will also collide with the misunderstanding and prejudices of the world. I ask you to guard the letters and this letter as long as necessary, years, decades, until society advances enough to accept what I'm about to explain. There is an extremely powerful force that so far science has not found a formal explanation for. It is a force that includes and governs all others and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe, and has not yet been identified by us. The universal force is called love. When scientists looked for the unified theory of the universe, they forgot the most powerful unseen force. Love is light that enlightens those who give and receive it. Love is gravity because it makes some people feel attracted to other people. Love is power because it multiplies the best we have and allows humanity not to be extinguished in their blind selfishness. Love unfolds and reveals. For love, we live and die. Love is God, and God is love. This force explains everything and gives meaning to life." He goes on and he says, "This is a variable that we have ignored for a long time. Maybe because we are afraid of love, because it's the only energy in the universe that man has not learned to direct at its own will. To give his ability to love, I made a simple substitution of my famous equation E equals mc squared, and we accept that energy to heal the world can be obtained through love multiplied by the speed of light, squared. We arrive at the conclusion that love is the most powerful force there is because simply it has no limits. After the failure of humanity in the use and control of the forces of the universe that have turned against us, it is urgent that we nourish ourselves with a new kind of energy. If our species wants to survive, if we are to find meaning in life, if we want to save the world and every sentient being therein, love is the one and only answer. Perhaps we are not yet ready to make a love bomb, a device powerful enough to entirely destroy hate, selfishness, and greed that now devastate the planet. But someday, all of us will come together and do that. When we learn to give and receive this universal energy, we will have affirmed that love conquers. Isn't that powerful? There's some controversy still about whether or not he actually wrote that. It doesn't matter, does it? Because it sums it all up. We have a breakthrough happening. This breakthrough is that people are beginning to become more and more aware of this limitless power, becoming more and more aware of who they truly are. We have for so long, since the beginning of recorded history, we have spent our lives in our minds. And it's progressively gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And that roommate in your head that narrates your life all the time, that conversation that's going on, the one that says, you can't do that, you're not worthy, you know the routine, right? That voice has been running your life for so long. And it still runs the lives of people all over the world. In fact, out of 7 billion people on the planet, we estimate there's maybe 100 million people that really understand that. The rest are still living on autopilot. What I mean by autopilot is they're living off of the unconscious, and the unconscious is controlling their life. All those thoughts, beliefs, and ideas and concepts that are held within us, that came from the outside in, are now, they are your life. How do you change that? What are you going to do to change that? Where do we go from here? First of all, we have to do what Einstein did. Einstein became aware that there is a higher power. How did he find that? He found that because when he was in university, he used to try to solve the equations, and he would get so frustrated, he would walk away, and he would go outside, and he'd lay in the sun. He found out that he would fall asleep, and when he'd fall asleep, he'd wake up with an answer, and he would go in and work the equation. He said, I got it. Intuition is what gives us the answer. We just have to prove it. That's pretty powerful. What's he saying? There's some force beyond our mind that obviously knows everything. That intelligence that is beyond, you can't figure it out from your mind. It doesn't work. Because we have the rational mind and we have the spatial right brain, which is all creativity and intuition and so on, it still can't be figured out because it's not rational. It's beyond rational. You have the power to wake up to your unlimited capabilities, your unlimited intuition. You can touch and live from that space instead of from the constant narration in your head. Would you like to do that? Would you like that voice up there, that roommate's causing all the trouble that we would have kicked out 20 years ago if we figured it out? You know, that one that left all the bottles around and the cigarettes in the ashtrays and the floor is unkept, and yeah, that roommate we're kicking out now. That roommate has been around for thousands of years. Now we're waking up to, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be there. That power that's within you is what Ernest Holmes talks about, that spiritual healing. He found that spiritual healing much like Einstein. He found it through intuition. That intuitive self comes from that higher consciousness into our mind and into the world. That's how healing takes place. Healing doesn't take place from looking at the body and diagnosing what's going on. True healing happens first in our spiritual outlook in the world, and second in our mental outlook in the world, and then it shows up in our body. That's not to diss the medical world. They have their place. But it has gotten out of control. It has gotten to the point to where we believe that's the only answer. Most of the world believes that's the only answer. And it's not. We need to come back to the truth of our own being. And the truth of our own being is what? we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Yes? Yeah. So let's stop pretending that we're human beings and start realizing that we're much more than that. We're actually the power of consciousness in action. So Ernest came out with the 5 steps of treatment, which was a way for us to move into that higher realm, to do the healing work from that higher realm. And it works great, and Ernest said, do not make this into a formula. And the reason for that is the moment you make it into a formula, it becomes automatic and it's no longer workable, right? So you want it to be spontaneous. You want it to come from that place within you which is beyond where the mind is chattering. You need to settle your mind down by breathing. There are so many different techniques. You can find them everywhere on how to do this, settling the mind. But the easiest way is breath, taking a deep breath in. If you take a nice deep breath in and you hold it, you hold it, you hold it, and you then let it go, and you do that for the same amount of time. If you do that consistently for 15, 20 minutes, the diaphragm begins to shift down because it's relaxing. The voice gets deeper. Your whole body begins to let go of the tension. As it begins to let go of the tension, that energy no longer needs to find a thought in order to release itself. Because thoughts are just energy. That energy is the unconscious energy, and that energy perks up and finds a verbal thought to put in through this landscape of the mind. But once we breathe into that relaxation and the body fully relaxes, the mind begins to relax. When the mind begins to relax, then we can move our attention. And we move our attention where? We move it into the space between those thoughts. And as you move it into that space between the thoughts, you're now connecting with that higher intuition. You're connecting with that oneness of consciousness. That thing that we call consciousness is God, for another word. And there are vast numbers of names, including the unified field, which is what Einstein was talking about. We have that potential. But as long as you're listening to your own mind, screaming and hollering all the time about who you aren't, then it's going to be difficult. Einstein's youngest son was plagued by schizophrenia. He had troubles as a child. It was hard for him to study. He did finally make it to university. He went to the same university, the Polytech, that his father went to, and he became a psychiatrist. And he loved Freud's work. But then his schizophrenia got worse and worse. And in 1930, he was put into an asylum. He was there for 35 years. And then he was about to be released in 1965, and he died. One of the things he said was, in my schizophrenia, I was able to touch that place where God sits. He was able to move out of the mind that's chattering and split into that place of peace. Einstein's other son went on to become a civil engineer in Switzerland, and they still don't know about his daughter. So Einstein met with Ernest Holmes back in the 1940s. It was actually, I think, the late 40s when Einstein made a trip to Los Angeles, and Yogananda suggested that they go sit with Ernest Holmes. And what did they talk about? They talk about barbecuing. let's barbecue tonight. Ernest loved to entertain, and he loved to entertain people who loved barbecuing. So he would fire up the barbecue, and they would sit around and they would talk. And they would talk about all kinds of things I can only imagine. One of the people that was at those programs wrote several books about it. In each week, he had what was called a Tuesday meeting. And that Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening meeting was invitation only. And the people that were there were the Yoganandas of the world and the Einsteins of the world. And I would love to have been a fly on the wall, as it said. All of that really is that you are unique and special. You are the power and the presence of God now. That's hard for most of us because that mind locks into, wait a minute, that's blasphemy. Okay, don't call it God. Call it Spirit. Call it George. Call it Martha. Whatever you want to call it something, then fine. But you are that. Coming through you into the world is that power of consciousness. And until you wake up to that truth, until you experience that truth, you're going to be living in this other world. That's the other side of the Red Sea. That's that side where it's all divided, where the water of the Red Sea is divided. We need to come back to our wholeness. We came in whole, and we're going to discover our wholeness before we leave. Are you ready to do that? Would you like to do that? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Do you want to do it right now? Yes. All right, let's start. Take a breath, a deep breath. Relax right where you are. Take another deep breath and hold it a second. Let it out. Just feel your whole body relaxing. Fully relaxed. Whatever those thoughts are that are going through, just allow them to go through. Don't pay any attention to them. Pay attention to that silence. Allow that peace to come over you. Knowing that there's only that one power and presence in the universe, which is God, which is consciousness, which is the energy of energies. Allow that. Feel that unlimited being that you are. Infinite in nature. Love in nature. Joy in nature. This is your true being. You are it. As you come back, notice the peace and bring the peace with you. As your eyes begin to open, feel your whole body relaxed and peaceful. It's the first moment of sitting so that you can sit and allow that to come through more and more and more. Because it took the universe 14.8 billion years to create you so that you could do what needs to be done on the planet. Namaste.
Thank you. You are my Einstein. We should make that into a song. You are my Einstein, my only Einstein. You make me happy when skies are gray.
I remember I used to have a poster that was on the wall and says, I am Einstein, and so are you.
Would our prosperity receivers please come forward? Also, if you are here and you are on the Leadership Council, Jake would like to take a picture of the Leadership Council after our celebration, or maybe after lunch. Is it after lunch, Jake? Because everybody's going to go in and have lunch, and then we can meet. And there's a beautiful red tree out there. Come on up closer, because I'm going to bless these. And anyway, he's going to do a picture of the Leadership Council. Thank you.
Let's do it right after this and get it out of the way. If everyone on the Leadership Council just come right here, we'll go right outside and get that done before the lunch.
Great. Okay. Walk out to the red tree. Perfect. Thank you for being our new ushers today. Yes. Einstein was a real believer in being in service, so thank you for being in service. Whatever is your gift today, please just give it with love. Just know that you can never outgive God, and that everything we give is returned to us, pressed down, multiplied, and running over. I know that to be so. And I bless each one of us. As we give, we not only nourish our own life and the life of the spiritual community, but we will reach outside and we nourish those that we assist in this whole planet. So I bless the gift and the giver, and so I let it be. And so it is.
All right. That was great, Larry. It was fantastic. I loved it. Jared's blown away. We will play you guys another song that's original. I am really excited to play this for you. It's a kind of a newer song. You won't understand a word because it's in Bulgarian. But it's an opportunity for you to tune in to something bigger and just let the love bomb music take you somewhere.
I have to tell this to my partner over here. I just turned my amp up a little bit. I just wanted to let you know. You can turn down on the board how you need. Just to get that tone out.
So we hope you enjoy. This is a song about when nighttime falls, how it purifies us. Когато падне нощта, всички малки неща загубват смисъл. А през деня губя се в чувства, губя те в мисли. Но зная, че когато падне нощта, всички лоши неща от деня загубват смисъл пред това, което с думи не мога да обясня. Очите на безкрай аз видях, до устните на вечността се допряга от усмивката ти. Лъчи строят. Сляпа съм вървяла по тази земя, докато за първи път себе си аз видях в твоите очи. Когато падне нощта, в мен изгрява луна, озаряваща с нежност най-тъмните места. Пада нощта, вдига се от сън сила, издухва прахта на замърсените чувства. Очите на безкрая аз видях, до устните на вечността се допряха от усмивката ти. Очи строят. Сляпа съм вървяла по тази деня, докато за първи път себе си аз видях в твоите очи. Когато падне нощта, когато падне нощта, изгрява любовта и до сутринта чисти моята душа. Щом пада нощта, има смисъл, зная, че до сутринта пак ще съм цяла, когато падне нощта. Когато падне нощта.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Larry and I are studying Spanish, and he just said, I think that language is harder than Spanish. Very hard. Yeah, we kind of got that. Okay, we're not going to study your language. I just want to let you know that Sherry Lease is doing a sound bath in December. And how many of you have ever been to a sound bath? Okay. She's a leader she's a certified sound healer. Friday evening, December 10th from 7 to 8:30. We will be doing it here in the sanctuary, and there'll be information in your December bulletin, but I just want to let you know. And there's a special introductory price, and it's going to be amazing. So put that on your calendar. Okay. So let's just take a moment and move into that place of spirit, place of wholeness that Reverend Larry was talking about. Take a deep breath and just feel. Feel the sacred sound emanating through every cell of your body. Right now, I know that if there is anything that needs to be healed in your life right now, declare it healed. Accept it done. If you want more peace, power, prosperity, creativity, love, know that it's done right now. Accept it. That you are love, joy, prosperity, peace, creativity. Feel it with every breath, with every cell in your body radiates that. For the qualities of the divine are your qualities right now. Letting go of anything in the past that has kept you stuck, I declare in this moment an awakening, a divine awakening. Peace and power of spirit. Right now is reflected within our breath. So accept whatever healing is needed. Accept whatever movement is needed. Accept whatever is wanting to be rearranged in your life so that you stand forth as that power of the divine. Like the Master Jesus said, I of myself do nothing. It's that power within each one of us. The message he gave was, ye are gods. So right now we envelop that with our breath. And we give thanks to all those master teachers that have come to let us know of our oneness. So right now I bless each one of us to our highest and greatest good, knowing that whatever is needed in our life is now complete right now as we accept it being done. And we'll take a moment and we'll also bring in any one of our friends or family that you know of that needs a healing in some area. We just surround them with the light of the divine, knowing that it's all unfolding perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Whatever is needed, that divine intelligence knows right now. And that healing begins with love. So we open our hearts in love to ourselves and to those around us, to this planet. We send love to all of our troops around the world. We send love to all those that have served in our armed forces. We send love to this planet, accepting the wholeness, the beauty, the love as already done. And for this I give thanks. And as we say together, and so it is. Wow. Can you feel the healing begin? And now for our closing song. Anna and Jared. Is there anybody here for the first time? Raise your hands because the ushers have a packet for you. Any first timers? All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and bring your friends. It's a great place to be on a Sunday morning. Thank you guys for being here too.
I heard there was a secret chord David played, and it pleased